Namaskar. We are having a glimpse of Dasbodh. Today we are going to see Dashak 8वां Samas 6वां. Means collection of 10 chapters, the 8th collection of 10 chapters, and 6th chapter among that is Dushchit Nirupan. Now what is Dushchit? Sachit means the person who is always living with the God, who believes and trusts and have faith in God at all the times. Dushchit means the people who don't trust God, and because of that they commit a lot of mistakes. Okay, that is Dushchit Nirupan. Now what are the advantages and disadvantages of having faith in God and not having faith in God? That a lot of people know. Now we are having a glimpse of what Ramdas Swami is going to say. And in crux he is telling all the things. First thing, Sri Rama. It is I hope you understand, it is a conversation between a lot of disciples and the listeners and with Sant Ramdas. So one of the person asked to him among the audience, Sri Rama, श्रुता विनोई वक्तयासी सत्संगाची महिमा कैसी मोक्ष लाभे किता दिवसी हे मोज निरोपावे. Means he is saying, I am in the satsang, I am listening to your discourse, and I am living with the good people like you. So please tell me in how many days I am going to be enlightened soul, in how many days I am going to be self-assured, Atmadhyani, Brahmadhyani, a person having Kaivalya Prapti and all those things. Okay, so Shruta Vinami Vaktayasi, Satsangachi Mahima Kaisi, Mokshalabhe Kita Divsi, Hemoza Niropave. In how many days I am going to get salvation and mukti? Dharita Sadhuchi Sangati, Kita Divsa Hote Mukti. Ha Nishche Krupa Murti, Maza Dinasa Karava. Ki I am your servant. Please tell me in how many days O enlightened soul, I am to get the mukti, the salvation, the atmadhyan, so that I stop getting born in some kind of species and avoid the 8.4 million births. Okay, so that my soul gets the mukti, I become a yogi, bhakta, my soul gets merged with the infinite soul. Okay, like that. Suchitpane dushchit man hote akasmata, त्यास करावे निवांत कोणे परी. Now many a times I become Dushchit. Dushchit means that person is saying he loses faith. Then he feels that he is not going to achieve anything. Then a lot of people are doing fantastic things with him and all fantastic things. So how to get out of that cycle and come back to the Sachit, mean trusting God and living composed life, living calm and quiet life, and a fulfilled life, you can say. Suchitpane dushchita man hote akasmata त्यास करावे निवांत कोणे परी. Now, if some moments a person gets dushchit, means he gets distracted from his focus of life, whatever he wants to achieve, how to come back to the senses? He's asking. मनाच्या तोडून ओढी श्रवण बैसावे आवडी सावधपणे घडीने घडी काळ सार्थक करावा. Means how to break these shackles, how to break these shackles and come out of all those negativity, so that I can invest time than waste my life and time. Okay, next. अर्थ प्रमेय ग्रंथांतरी शोधून घ्यावे अभ्यंतरी दुश्चितपणा आले तरी पुन्हा श्रवण करावे. Now Samartha Ramdas is saying that unless you understand the real meaning of all these good books, you should not go ahead. And if you happen to understand some relatively negative image of someone, relatively negativity in your understanding, then come back, read it again, come back to senses, become a realized soul, and remain in that state of mind. Again and again, you should listen discourse carefully, so that like Arjuna listened to Shri Krishna, he became yogi, one with the unison with the Shri Krishna. and then he understood the whole Gita very well. Like that, you should also listen. Listening doesn't mean just the, it is not a physical and chemical thing to happen. That someone is speaking and it is tracking to your tympanic membrane, you listen, your memory analyzes and you understand, oh, that tang, that sound I heard, it is someone threw the stone on that pole and that's how I heard. It is not like that. Listening means whatever you listen, you become one with the God, because we are listening to the discourse of the one of the best realized soul, Samarth Ramdas. अर्थांतर पाहिल्या वेळ उगेची करीत जो श्रवण तो श्रोता नव्हे पाषाण मनुष्य वेश. Now, unless you understand all these things and you become one with the God, then only you can be called as the human being. Otherwise, you are like a stone. In front of stone, whatever you speak, it doesn't get transformed into anything. Okay, I mean that kind of words he is using. येथे श्रोते मानतील सीण आम्हास केले पाषाण तरी पाषाणाचे लक्षण सावध आहे का. Now one of them started feeling, I mean a lot of them started feeling that, oh, are we not even better than these stones? So you should listen carefully with alertness, with awakened state of mind. Then only you will become enlightened soul. वाकुडा तिकडा फोडिला पाषाण घडून नीट केला. पाषाण घडून नीट केला दुसरे वेळेसी पाहिला तरी तो तैसाची असे. Now he is giving example that there are certain stones. They are broken from this side, that side, upper side, down side, then left side, this side, that side. So many sides you break the stone. Still it remains stone only. Anytime you see, before breaking the stone and after breaking the stone remains stone. Okay? So we should not be like that. How should we be? In fact, टाकीने खपली फोडिली ते मागुती नाही जडली. मनुष्याची कुबुद्धी झाडिली तरी ते पुन्हा लागे. It means when someone is creating a statue out of very good quality of stone, what he does? He takes, the chisel and hammer and tack. He starts doing like that. So once he creates the statue, and whatever the part of stone he has broken, they fall down, but they do not get attached to that statue again, and the statue looks beautiful. So that statue becomes worthy enough to be, offered prayer. So in fact, you see a statue of Shiva, the Prabhu Ramachandra, Shri Krishna. People worship them. Okay, and it becomes, it is kept into sanctorium, and people start believing that, and offering prayers to it day and night. But there are certain people who happen to be having bad habits of taking bad qualities and believing in those bad things and going on that line. So we should try to avoid it. And there are certain people, howsoever you may try, but still they come back to the bad path only. So we should not be like that. Those people are having kubuddhi. Means we have seen the kubuddhi lakshan. Go and check it. Okay? So we should not be like that. Sangata avgun kela. पुन्हा मागुता जडला या कारणे महाभला पाषाण गोटा. You see, that stone, once we carve a statue out of that, it doesn't become a stone again. It remains as a statue. But there are certain people who try to inculcate bad qualities again and again, even if they listen to discourse and all those things. ज्याचा अवगुण झडेना तो पाषाणाहून उणा पाषाण आगळा जाणा कोटी गुणे. Now the person who can't get rid of his bad qualities, bad habits and bad attributes, then the koti means 10 million times. Then that person is not 10 million times better than the stone. In fact, the stone is 10 million better than that person. Samartha Ramdas is saying. Okay. After this, Samartha Ramdas is giving example that how there are certain stones which are better than the value of human beings. In fact, we are invaluable. But when we waste our time and energy into bad things, then what happens? कोटी गुणे कैसा पाषाण त्याचंही ऐका लक्षण श्रुती करावे श्रवण सावध होणे. There are certain stones, the precious stones which are in fact better than and having better quality than human beings. Which are those stones? माणिक मोती प्रवाळ पाची वैडूर्य वज्रनीळ गोमेद मणि परिस केवळ पाषाण बोलीजे. It means the precious stones like diamonds, then pearls, and then so many, they are better than human beings. There is a stone, paris. The imaginative, you can say, or your imagination stone. If it touches to the iron, it gets converted into gold. You might be knowing about the story of alchemist. It is like that. So there are so many beautiful and invaluable stones are there. They have certain values. Certain stones cost $100 million. There are certain diamonds which cost even more than $1 billion, for example. Okay, but we are invaluable. We are human beings. Our lives are invaluable. But how we should understand we are invaluable and we should live an invaluable life? That is his message. Next, माणिक मोती प्रवाळ पाची वैडूर्य वज्रनीळ गोमेद मणि परिस केवळ पाषाण बोलीचे. They are all पाषाण means stones only. याही वेगळे बहुत सूर्यकांत सोमकांत नाना मोहरे सप्रचित औषधा कारणे. There is a Suryakant means a stone. When the sun rays falls on it, it glows like sun only. Somakanta means it's a moonstone, for example. When the moon rays falls on it, it glows like a moon. And there are other many stones and of which we create the medicines. It means the chemicals from which we create the medicines and we get cured from that. Okay, so they have certain values. With their attributes, they cure other people, they live for others, and they get satisfied in their lives. Like that we should also become. याही वेगळे पाषाण भले नाना तीर्थी जे लागले वापी कूप सेखी जाले हरिहर मूर्ती. There are other stones, with which we have created the steps near the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Narmada, the Tapi, Godavari. These are the rivers. At the bank of them, the proper steps are created so that people can go and take a bath or they get their, feelings like they are doing something special and all those things. So there are other stones of which the steps over here and in fact near the temples, near the Vapi and Kup. Kup means the wells. The wells are created out of those stones and people drink water from that. So you see, the stones are very worthy. They are being used for such useful purposes. याही वेगळे पाषाण भले नाना तीर्थी जे लागले वापी कूप सेखी जाले हरिहर मूर्ती. So there are other stones of which wells and everything has been created. Even houses and so many things have been created. Harihar Murti, Hari and Har means the statue of Vishnu, and Har means Shiva has been created, have been and will be created. So they are very precious. याचा पाहता विचार पाषाणायसे नाही सार मनुष्य ते काय पामर पाषाणा पुढे. So we have become palmer means have no. So ultimately we should not waste our time and we should invest time so that we also become invaluable at all the times. तरी तो ऐसा नव्हे पाषाण जो अपवित्र निकारण तयासारिका देह जाण दुश्चित अभक्तांचा. So that you become real bhakta. Bhakta means you become one with the God, you become yogi, atmadhyani, you get nitya mukta, and that is how you should live the life. However, you should not become part of abhakta, means which are separated from God. They don't trust God, they don't trust anything, the systems and everything, and they create ruckus in the not only in the family but human society and all those things. You should not become like that. Dushchit means those who do not trust anything and everything. Another factor is, you see, Samartha Ramdas or any saints or any sadhu, even Kabirji also said the same thing. Mai to hu vishwas mein. If you trust, have a faith, then God is there and you can live a life at every moment with God. All sadhus and saints, they speak same thing. आता असं हे बोलणे घात होतो दुश्चितपणाचे निगुणे प्रपंच ना परमार्थ. You see, if you don't trust, then what happens? Not even your family life, but your business and your societal life also gets destroyed. And that's why you should trust good people and good things. दुश्चितपणे कार्य नासे, दुश्चितपणे चिंता वसे, दुश्चितपणे स्मरण नसे, क्षण एक पाहता. Because of Dushchit, if you don't trust and you don't follow the the standard operating procedures or something like that, you see, then you don't follow the rules and regulations. Those all things come under Dushchit. Then what happens? Your work doesn't get done. Then you create a lot of hurdles in your life. Then you might miss something. You might not remember something. दुश्चितपणे शत्रुजीवणे, दुश्चितपणे जन्ममरणे, दुश्चितपणाचे निगुणे हानी होय. So even you create a lot of enemies. Then your Janma cycle means 8.4 million births goes on. Then lot of you suffer a lot of losses in life. दुश्चितपणे नव्हे साधन, दुश्चितपणे न घडे भजन, दुश्चितपणे नव्हे ज्ञान साधकांचे. Then there is no sadhana, means penance. Means your penance also goes waste. Then your bhajan, discourses and all these things go waste. You cannot achieve the knowledge and become and live at a knowledgeable state of mind. You cannot achieve the wisdom. You cannot live as a yogi and bhakta, and you might lose your faith and your prayers, the continuity of prayers. In fact, sadhak means who is continually proceeding on his sadhana, penance. You might lose that path as well. He wants to say in crux. दुश्चितपणे नव्हे निश्चय, दुश्चितपणे न घडे जयो, दुश्चितपणे होय क्ष आपल्या स्वहिताचा. And because of dushchitta, means not trusting and following rules and regulations and ethics and values, then what happens? Then you cannot trust anyone, nobody can trust you, and you cannot win. In fact, when the whole team trust each other, you can see how many goals can be scored, how many points can be earned, how many medals you can win in the Olympics or World Cup or so many places. Okay, so because of this dushchitta, not trusting, not following rules and regulation, and not following ethics and values, what happens? You might not keep your firm belief. You might lose your faith among each other. You might create a hurdle in your life so that you never win any of the thing in your life. Your work never gets done in certain fields. Something like that happens. दुश्चितपणे न घडे श्रवण, दुश्चितपणे न घडे विवरण, दुश्चितपणे निरूपण हातीचे जाय. Because of this, what happens? You cannot listen properly and become one with the God. You cannot understand the meaning of certain things. You cannot understand whatever the discourse is going on. You cannot become one with the God, unison with the God at all the times like Arjun became. दुश्चित पैसलाची दिसे परी तो असतची नसे, चंचळ चक्री पडिले असे मानस त्याचे. Means he is sitting at one place but his mind wanders all over the globe, many places, and he cannot concentrate, he cannot get the work done, he cannot study, he cannot do the work at home or at house or ऑफिस एनी प्लेस. वेळे पिशाच निरंतर अंध मुके आणि बधीर तैसा जाणावा संसार दुश्चित प्राण्यांचा. They behave like an insane people, and they cannot see the God, they cannot listen to God, they cannot do the work for the God, and they live like animals, like something like that. He is saying we should avoid all these things. He means to say, सावध असून उमजेना, श्रवण असून ऐकेना, ज्ञान असून कळेना, सारा सार विचार. He loses his faith. He is alert, awake. He knows a lot of things, but he cannot implement in his life. He loses his vivek, sara sar vichar, means what is good and what is bad, and he might go on the path of bad habits as well. So that is why having faith, following all the rules and regulations, following ethics and values, living with trust and faith, that is very important. ऐसा जो दुश्चित आळसी परलोक कैचा त्यासी, ज्याचे जीवे अहर्निशी आळस वसे. Now such person, if he gets into the laziness habit, then there is a total loss in life. Day and night if he goes into laziness. दुश्चितपणापासून सुटला तरी तो सवेचा आळस आला, आळसा हाती प्राण्यांचं उसंत चिन्ह आहे. First, these are not following of ethics, and again added laziness can create havoc in his life. आळसे राहिला विचार, आळसे बुडाला आचार, आळसे नवे पाठांतर काही केलं. He cannot study, he cannot remember anything, he cannot go ahead in his life. He loses his character, he loses his achar vichar, means behavior pattern and all those things. आळसे घडेना श्रवण, आळसे नवे निरूपण, आळसे परमार्थाची गुण मळीन झाले. Because of this laziness, he cannot listen properly. He cannot listen the discourse as Arjun listened and he became one with the God. आळसे आळस वाढाला असंभाव. Then laziness gets added into laziness, and he everywhere lot of bad things get added in his life. आळसे गेली धारणा धृती, आळसे मळीन झाली वृत्ती, आळसे विवेकाची गती मंद झाली. Because of this laziness, you lose your dharana, whatever you want to achieve, and you are walking on that path, and then your state of mind, you lose that one. Even your each moment thinking is not on the well defined path, and whatever you think, what is good and what is bad, that becomes blur. Once you are in gray area, you are gone. आळसे निद्रा वाढली, आळसे वासना विस्तारली, आळसे शून्याकार झाली सुबुद्धी निश्चयाची. One of the person asked me, sir, you are computer engineer, so you might be knowing hacking. I said, I never did that. Because once you are on the wrong path, you cannot come back. So we try to avoid those things. So there are many of my friends, those there are once you are into the academic domain, you come across a lot of people. There are people who know how to create atom bomb. There are people who know how to hack. There are people good and bad, and all kinds of people are there. But we try to remain in good people only and good habits only. Never walk on the wrong path. That is the message of Vivek from Samartha Ramdas. Otherwise, what happened? That once you are in the wrong path, then again laziness is added into that. Then you try to earn the money and try to do the bad things. And I hope you understand, instant money and instant things they do not exist anywhere. Then bad habits and bad quality increase, and your subuddhi, means to walk on the good path, you lose faith into something and you go on the wrong path. So you cannot follow the good path anymore. That is why we should avoid it. दुश्चितपणा सवय आळस, आळसे निद्रा विळासे, निद्रा विळासे केवळ नाश आयुष्याचा. Now first dushchitata means not trusting and not following ethics and values. Then another thing added is laziness. Then going on the wrong path, and then the life is get wasted. In fact, another thing, nidra, aas, dushchitpana, laziness, sleeping, unnecessary sleeping, more sleeping, and dushchitpana. These three things are the qualities of murkha lakshana. You go and check murkha lakshana. Yeni karita nirupan umze china. Then whatever discourse you may listen, you will not understand that. That is what Samartha Ramdas is saying. हे तिन्ही लक्षणे जेथे विवेक कैसा असेल तेथे अज्ञानास यापरते सुख नाही. When these three qualities come together, then ignorance, bad habits, and sadness is always there. You cannot remain in happiness, joyful life. शुदा लागताचा जीवीला जीवन उठता आळस आला आळस येता निजेला सावकास. You know what happens later? That when you are hungry, you just eat. When you eat, you feel sleepy, you go to sleep. When you sleep, again, when you wake up, you feel, oh, I'm hungry. Then again, this cycle goes on. Eating, sleeping, and all those things continue forever. So you lose your life. निजून उठताचं दुश्चित कदा नाही सावचित तेथे कैचे आत्महित निरूपणे. Now, Atmahit will not be there. Means you cannot progress in your life. Even if you listen to discourses like this. This is what Samarth Ramdas is saying. मरकटापासी दिले रत्न पिशाच्या हाती निधान दुष्चितापुढे निरूपण तयापरी होय. When he is trying to say that if you give diamond in the hand of the monkey, he will understand the value of diamond, but that person will not. Another thing is, if pishacha hati nidan means if you give the pen in the hands of for example ghost and ask him to write your future, he will write down, he'll become a demon and all fantastic things. It is like that, giving your future into the hands of devils or giving diamond into the hands of not so good people. He is trying to say, in fact, everybody is God, but there are certain people who are on the wrong path. If you give the things into the wrong hands, they might use it for wrong purpose. He is just trying to say that. आता असो हे उपपत्ती आशंकेची कोण गती गीता दिवसा होते मुक्ती सज्जनाचे निसंगे. Now, whatever the question you asked at the first, that in how many days I shall get and become an enlightened soul. So, ऐकायाचे प्रत्युत्तर कथेसी व्हावे निरोत्तर सत संत संघाचा विचार ऐसा असे. लोह परिसीसी लागला थेंबुटा सागरे मिळाला गंगे सरिते संगम झाला तक्षणी. So the answer to this question is, when the paris touches the iron, it gets converted into gold. When the drop falls into the ocean, it gets converted into ocean. It happens takshani, instantly at that moment only you become one with the God. Try and understand. It is so simple. सावध साक्षपी आणि दक्ष त्यास तत्काळाची मोक्ष इतरांस ते अलक्ष लक्षिले नवाचे. Now you have to be saved, alert, sakshapi, getting detached from the world and watching everything, and daksha, alert, awake and arisen, like that, and detached from the world. तयास तत्काळाची मोक्ष इतरांस ते अलक्ष लक्षिले नवाचे. So you become enlightened soul at that instant only when you come to realize this. येत शिष्य प्रज्ञाचं केवळ प्रज्ञावंत नलगे वेळ अनन्यास तत्काळ मोक्ष लाभे. Now at this moment, shishya prajna means your brain should be on the proper thinking pattern. When your brain is, has opened all the facets of the, of this world and in fact beyond all these things, then once you listen to discourse, instantly you get the moksha, mukti, atmajnan. At that moment, at this moment only atmajnan is there. Just you have to keep it that awakened at all the times throughout your life. That is what he is saying. Pradnyavanta and ananya. So you are devoted to God and you also have this kind of pradnya. Your brains are like this. Your mind is like this. Then त्यास नलगे एक क्षण अनन्य भावार्थे वीण प्रज्ञा खोटी. So once you become so much devoted, then you become one with the God forever. Okay? If you are not doing all these things, you are not following this path, then you might waste your life. That is what he is warning as well. प्रज्ञे वीण अर्थ न कळे विश्वासे वीण वस्तू ना कळे प्रज्ञा विश्वासे गळे देहाभिमान. Now, if you have this kind of brain, mind and soul, then you also have faith in God. Then with this faith and with these brains, which understand God well, remains one with the God at all the times. You are serving the society 24/7 with all this devotion and work is worship. Then your egoism and egotism is gone forever. And if your egoism and egotism, me, myself and selfish things are there, then देहाभिमानाचे अंती, सहजची वस्तुप्राप्ती, सत्संगे सद्गती विलंबची नाही. If you lose this egotism, selfishness, me, myself and all those things, and if you have a satsangati, living in the good people, thinking about the good things only, and remaining work in the process of work is worship throughout your life, then instantly you become a realized soul. If not, then you might lose everything in your life. सावध साक्षी विशेष प्रज्ञावंत आणि विश्वास त्यास साधनी साहस करण्याची न लगे. So you see, time and again, Samarth Ramdas is saying that you should be सावध साक्षी विशेष प्रज्ञावंत आणि विश्वास त्यास साधनी साहस करण्याची न लगे. If you are alert, awake, remain detached from this world, but you are on the path of ethics and values, and with faith and devotion and trust, you are doing all the work as the work is worship 24/7, then you don't have to perform any other sadhana as such penance in your life, because that way of living life itself is a sadhana. इतर भाविक साबडे तयासे साधने मोक्ष जोडे, साधु संगे तत्काळाची उडे विवेक दृष्टी. Now there are other people who are performing such sadhana. They also achieve the moksha, and they also, if follow, with viveka drushti, with this pattern to live life in a better fashion, devoted life, then they are also going to achieve the moksha, atmadnyan, brahmadnyan, kaivalya prapti, whatever you may call it. Linguistically, these have different meanings, but at the end of the day, the minimum achievement is moksha. After that, there are so many other things. Somebody can become Sant, somebody can become sadhu, somebody can become, there are so many levels. In fact, you go into that field, you might be understanding. Somebody can become this and that, and you can reach at the godly state as well. And there are so many things. You might be knowing it. परिते साधन मोडू नये, निरूपणाचा उपाय, निरूपणे लागे सोय सर्वत्रांसी. So whatever sadhana you are performing, whatever penance you are performing, may it be puja, may it be mass, may it be bhajan, pravachan, whatever it may be, you please continue throughout your life. Just remember that 24/7, if you devote your life towards God, if you do 24/7 work is worship, your life is done. Till the end of life, you will always remain mukta only, nitya mukta. And it is applicable to sarvatransi, it is applicable to each and everyone in this world. आता मोक्ष आहे कैसा, कैसी स्वरूपाची दशा, त्याचे प्राप्तीचा भरवसा सत्संगे केवी. Now what is moksha? What is swarupa dasha? How exactly that enlightened soul lives? How to trust that he is speaking the truth? How to understand what is real satsanga? What should be achieved from the satsanga? Living with the good people. How to create your mind so pure that you remain with God forever. All those things we are going to discuss in the next chapter. ऐसे निरूपण प्रांजळ पुढे बोलेला असे सकळ, श्रुती होऊन निश्चळ अवधान द्यावे. So this is what I am going to talk in the next chapter. Please listen carefully. अवगुण त्यागावा या कारणे, न्याय निष्ठुर लागे बोलणे, श्रुती कोप न धरणे ऐसिया वचनाचा. As you should lose your bad qualities, Samarth Ramdas is saying, I try to speak in harsh language so that you should not go on the wrong path. But when I am saying everything in harsh words, in harsh language, don't think that I have become angry with you, and don't think that I am instigating anger in you against me. No. Please do not get angry with me. Please listen carefully and achieve the self-realization, enlightenment, moksha, mukti. And that is the only aim in our life. Aisya Vachanacha. Please try to understand this. and please forgive me for that, for speaking such things in so much clear language. You see, once a person said, sir, Samartha Ramdas might be hated much in his time because he is speaking truth. So I didn't realize. He said, sir, you also speak truth, so you might be hated a lot. I said, I don't know. But there are 400 million who read the Solution Master. They like the idea that why should not we work together towards sustainable development goals? We can achieve it. We can go to Moon, Mars and beyond. We have technology. So you will be hated much, he said. Okay, I said, that is what you are blessing me? No, he said, not like that. But the people who speak truth, they are hated much and they are, blamed much. And there is a lot of halo is created among their family and among their, the aura among them is created like this only. That he is a very truthful person, so don't go near him. He might damage your feelings and all those things. It is not like that. I have never spoken a word which will hurt someone. If I have spoken a word which can create a better things in that organization, in that institution, or in that place, then I might have used, only proper words only. Similarly, Samartha Ramdas is also saying. Okay, so he wants to say that we can create the Anandavan Bhuvan, Samartha Ramdas, Swananda Bodh pattern of Dhaneshwar Maharaj, Ram Rajya of Prabhu Ramachandra, utopia, our ideal state of human civilization, we can create it. Only thing is, we have to trust among each other. And Dushchit, we have to leave the Dushchitpana, means not trusting each other, not following ethics, rules and regulation, humanitarian values. If we avoid all those things, then we can certainly create a better human civilization. That's all his message, so that we can devote our life 24/7 towards God, towards society, and creating a better human civilization. Thank you very much. Iti Shri Dasbodh Guru Shishya Samvade Dushchit Nirupan Nama Samasa Sahava. Thank you very much.